Hello everyone and welcome to round 5 of STB season 11. This time it is the Spanish Grand Prix. Joining me in the commentary box as always is SaKuuu. Say hello.
Hello Jack, how's it going?
Going well.
Are you ready for some Spanish action?
We are. It's looking quite dry in qualifying at the minute, but we've just heard from our pit lane reporter Ethan Peters that we've got some rain for the race.
Ooh, interesting.
Of course, one notable absence this race, if you can see on the left of your screen there, is BRL Edu Peronde, who
Notorious Brazilian. It's unfortunate, Jack, really, because as we know, he's a contender, and Spain is usually a track where good drivers will stand out because of the challenges that lies here. But yeah, I bet there are some guys like Eric Stander and Hall Pedro should take advantage of this situation and bring it home. They'll be looking to bring it home.
They will be. Of course, a good result for Yao Pedro here could put him right up there with Eric again. So, really a crucial race for him in terms of the championship. Find Hughes furthest along on track, I think it's Eric.
I'm looking at Eric Stander. It's gonna give us a good benchmark. I think Jack, a good lap in Circuit de Catalunya is a low 18 is probably yield a very good result here. But I'm guessing most people will be around the minute 19-second mark. So I'm thinking a guy like Eric Stander, if he gets a good lap early in the session, should be high 18s.
Yeah, high teams is what we expect for the first part of qualifying. Maybe later on when the track's a bit more rubbered in, we can see some low 18s, maybe even some 17s.
I think he went off track a little bit there at turn 5, if I'm not mistaken. Turn 4, yeah.
Let's see the lift coming through this corner. Lift a little bit. Oh.
That was wide.
That corner flat if you get the right line.
I think ideally that fast right-hander turn 9 for the DRS zone, you want to keep it in 6th gear, lift off just ever so slightly to give you the best line and best exit coming over the straight. And as we watch Eric Stander coming over the last turn, and turning on DRS as quick as possible, crossing the line with the 119.3, which is he's made a few mistakes, but that's a solid banker nonetheless, Jack.
Yeah, I'm definitely expecting to see him improve on that. Hughes.
Watching Tommy in the McLarens, going through the last turn, DRS is open.
Go
second place, P2.
Not bad. We are hearing from Ethan that Tommy doesn't really have an optimal setup as well, so definitely a good lap.
Impressive. Oh, Pedro in the Ferrari in the last section, the last chicane of the track. Let's see what it can do.
With pit.
Yeah, must have invalidated and he backed out.
Yep, so no banker lap
Ethan
for
Peters.
Yao Pedro.
Correct. In the Force India, Petey on the main straight crosses the line in P7 with a 19.6. So there's wasn't a great lap, I don't think, for Ethan.
Oh,
Toxic Fusion.
Shadow crashed into the pit.
Oh, a legend is the McLaren is in the wall as well. Not sure what's going on here. Jack, there's been a wonderful lap from Toxic Fusion. He's put it almost a second in front of Eric Stander. That's impressive. I mean, personally, I gotta I had to work hard to get an 18.3 in time trial and 18.4 on the first lap of
Yeah,
Spain.
18 for Toxic.
It's pretty good. I'm impressed. So possibly another good result for the Renaults in qualifying.
Yeah, just noticed that his teammate Evans has decided to abandon his lap and has gone into the pits. So I think he might
Mr.
have
Did in
invalidated
P2 in the Red Bull as well. Had a tough race in Russia last week, as a few others did. But he's having a good start as we speak. Gonna see if I can get Ethan Peters with us to chat a little bit, see what's going on.
Done it.
Ethan, hello. Can you make sure that you have your audio included for the broadcast, please? Ethan, first of all, first lap in the dry, 1:19.6. What went wrong? What went well in your lap? Can you tell us about it?
Not a lot went right, but looking at the race, I've decided to opt for higher wings, so that's why I'm a bit down. But hopefully, I can maybe do a 19 flat if I'm lucky, or below. You know, just see what happens.
So the weather forecast tells us that it's gonna be a wet race. Is it wet throughout, as far as you know?
As far as I know, yeah.
All right,
Can't
so that's
see.
interesting.
I see all of it, but yeah.
So you've got your teammate Matty Banter, almost a tenth up in front of you. Are you gonna wait as much as possible and go out the last minute and make your last lap there?
I'm actually going out right now.
All right, all right.
Slow out lap, and I'll get it done.
So Ethan, we'll leave you to it. That's about as much as we could ask from you for this interview. Good luck and have fun.
Thank you. You too, Dad.
All right. We got Wild Jamie in the chat boasting at the moment, but back to the race, to the qualifying, Jack. How are we looking?
Quite surprised actually. Toxic's not usually the best qualifier, but he managed to put in a stunner of a lap. Yao Pedro and Neville's able to put people that are still yet to qualify, so we'll see where they go. Not expecting
I think, Jack, it might be the case of Toxic Fusion being on probably one of his favorite tracks. Maybe we'll be able to ask him if he gets a good result. We'll get him in the commentary booth a few questions, but definitely looking good for him so far in this qualification session. We got Tommy, he's about to start his lap.
I think Evans has backed out his lap again. He's going quite slow. So Evans is still not
He
able
might
to
have.
start well.
Well, Pedro just posted a 19.1, puts him in P2.
Still 7/10 off Toxic though.
Still far off the lead, you're right.
I wonder if Toxic's running a drier setup and then the rest of the people are running more of a wet setup for the race.
Well, you're right. We've talked with Pete. He said that he would rather be prepared for a full wet race and alter the setup right away than qualify as good as he can. So it's an interesting gamble, and I think the question is fair. We might have a few guys that have ideal setup for the rain and wet conditions, and taking a hit for a dry quali.
Yeah, I think one of those might be Eric, considering where he is on the grid at the minute. We know he's not the best at qualifying, but I wasn't expecting him to be that bad out.
We got a few guys now in the 18s. Legend posted an 18.6, put him P3. Excellent lap in the McLaren after bidding in his first stint. Well, Pedro will be on an 18.59. He's done for the quali. In total, pure improve.
By the way,
Standard sure did, but it's not enough for P1. Go ahead, Jack.
now just saying that Ethan and Yao Pedro both retired with front wing damage.
Interesting. Did they collide, you think?
No, it seemed like Yao Pedro was really far in front of Ethan, so he was already parked when Ethan got that.
And Legend improves, coming on the back straight, the main straight. I mean, and he hasn't, but he could be on one final lap. They won't be carrying as much for tire wear because of the situation. The weather forecast calling for a wet race. You don't need to preserve tires so much, but
Legend was retired.
I've seen. Yeah, it's over. Looks like it.
Yep.
Is Toxic Fusion on a lap, Jack?
Yes.
Oh,
not
he's gone
anymore, he
way
hasn't.
wide. Yeah, that's it. It's in Spain in the wet. You want to avoid as much of the traffic as possible. The midfield start is definitely going to be a tricky start in the wet again. So interesting. Toxic Fusion P1, Eric Standard P2 in the Ferrari. Very good lap from him. Well, Pedro P3, the Brazilian, the other Ferrari, and then McLaren of Legend. Renault with their second driver Evans in P5. Very good result again for Renault. They're on a good streak. Matty Banner and Force India total pure. Mr. Did, Fotis Greek, and Tommy round out the top 10.
So let's see just how bad this rain is then.
Exactly.
And before it's not raining, Ethan's just completely at us.
Oh, it's heavy rain.
Oh, that's.
This is definitely a full wet situation.
You're gonna need some rowing sticks at that point, what they called oars. We're hearing off Ethan. It's full wet the entire race.
Oh, very good. We're in for some action then.
Ethan's also got the default setup glitch, but he's managed to sort it out.
Excellent. Victim of the glitch once again, but he did good. Looking it up.
Here we go then. Off to the grid. Five lights. And away we go in Spain. Nobody's moving. The McLaren of Legends has got a really good start there. I think he's going to be challenging for second down in turn 1.
So much spray.
Ooh,
Drivers
bit of
are in
contact
the
between
unknown.
Legends and Yao Pedro.
Oh, there's damage for McLaren back. That's Tommy. He's got no wing. PD was a victim of it as well. Wing damage.
No.
I'm not
Mold
sure
is
about
off.
the wing damage, but he's recording.
Oh, I'm hearing that it was an incident with Tommy losing traction and killing a few cars.
Fortunate.
Wait, Eddie Peronda is in the race. He's in 12th.
He is. Oh right, I saw him. He joined during the qualifying session, but he was late.
Being on board with Peronda here, you can see just how little visibility there is when you're behind other cars. You can see literally like 5 feet in front of you, and that's it.
There's a lot of contact coming out of turn 10, the hairpin, and
Yeah.
now everyone's on the last sector, still trying to get accustomed to their car and the conditions.
Ethan's pulled a beautiful move there on the outside of Mulder.
It looks like Petey hasn't got any damage after all, so
He has a bit of damage on the left hand side of his wing, from what I can see.
let's see then. So the top 3 remains unchanged. Toxic Fusion ahead of Eric Stander in P2 and Juan Pedro. The 2 Ferraris once again both on the podium as it stands. Evans is in P4, gained the position on start. Oh, Legend, Matty Banner, 5 and 6, and Gabriel actually.
Shadow just tagged Ethan.
Hold on. Gabriel has made up 6 positions. He was in P13, he's now in P7. Incredible start.
Yeah, it's a good start for Gabriel there. Still yet to get points this season, after he didn't score any in his debut race.
He's got the Haas of Dennis, the alternate strategy guy, as we know him best. He's not going to be able to run really a different strategy than anyone else's in those wet conditions, but it'll probably it could make him look good nonetheless, because who knows, maybe he's a good racer in the rain.
Well, he certainly looks quicker than Gabriel in front of him. He's challenging for the overtake up more or less every corner.
And you can see Jack, the driver, struggling coming out of that last corner. It's very slippery in the dry, let alone the wet.
Legends especially got really out of shape there on that last corner, ended up on the grass on the inside. Kept out the wall though, which is the main thing.
And with the spray and the dirty air, it's difficult to make a move and
Pedro's
set up the
now
car
got
well.
ahead of Eric.
Ooh, what happened there must have been a mistake, because Eric was comfortably ahead.
Yeah, a mistake, or it might be some team orders, allowing Pedro to have a go at Toxic.
Right. As we know, Ferrari, no stranger to team orders, Jack.
Don't know what you're on about. Ferrari perfectly treat the drivers perfectly equally. No bias either way.
None of that never occurred to me. Indeed.
Tommy Moll's drifting here through turn 3.
Oh, Dennis coming to the hairpin. He's on the outside. He's got a way better exit.
Oh, that's a bit of a shove.
Side by side, there's contact. And he's really urging himself to get past Gabriel. He's losing tremendous amounts of time. He's stuck. He wants to get past, but it's tough to overtake out there in those
Especially with
conditions.
no DRS.
Exactly.
Yeah, Pedro getting closer to Toxic. Got now 1.1 seconds. See what Toxic.
So Jack, I'm thinking now, there's a dry line forming on the track, and as far as strategy is concerned, if it's a wet race like this one, there might be a point in the race where inters become the better alternative, and you know, that might be the make or break strategy for the rest of the race, but we'll see. It could remain heavy.
Might be. We could see some of the people lower down resting up for inters later on in the race, like for Tommy, maybe Mulder, Yosino. Only now up into 9th place. So he's back in the points.
Once again, coming up the hill for the DRS straight. There's no DRS at the moment, as we know, but Dennis is going to be looking to overtake. He's got a bad exit out of the top of the hill, coming to the hairpin. He's too far back. Oh, Gabriel goes wide. There's contact. Side by side, come into. Oh,
Gabriel's on the crap.
turn 12. Wow.
I think Dennis is through here. There he is.
And next thing you know, Jack Edu Pirati P9 is looking at taking advantage of the battle that's going on. He's gonna be in Gabriel's gearbox coming to the straight.
I feel like there's gonna be some more team orders here.
Oh no.
Yeah, there you go, Gabriel just getting out of the way.
Or is he? Oh yes, he did. Interesting. And there's an interesting three-way battle going on in the back for P13. Maldi goes wide in P12, lets them through the three drivers, Shadow, Total Pure, and the Sauber, and PD right behind. And it's now become a four-way train. Tommy retires.
He's out the race.
He spun it.
And he's knocked off his rear wheel somehow. I've never seen that.
Whatever is going on.
Yeah, I can get past Shadow.
It's a difficult situation for Total Pure. He's in a sandwich between Shadow and PD. He's got to attack as much as he wants to defend, so let's see how he fares. It's a bit too far back to attempt an overtake on Shadow, but PD's right behind. Trying to go wide and get a slingshot exit. Everybody's close.
This lap is the closest that Yao Pedro's been to top out all race. Even half a second.
Lots of battles going on. There's the battle for P1, and then there's Matty Banner taking a look at O Legend. There's Edu Pirandi right behind Dennis for P7, and then the guys of the trio of Shadow.
Oh,
Pure,
some
and
lag
PD.
for Force India. That's Matt. Matt just had a massive lag spike and basically bunny hopped his car.
He's thrown himself right back in the mix with Dennis and Edu Pirandi.
Yeah.
It is so slippery out there, Jack. You can tell by the way every driver struggles getting out of every corner and keeping the car straight.
Matt's gone wide again. Dennis going to the inside. That's risky. Oh, now Brody wall.
Side by side.
Oh, it's 3 wide going into the
Oh.
hairpin. Oh, there's a massive crash.
What happened?
3 wide does it go into that corner. Whoever
that
was on the
was-
inside. I feel like that was more his fault than anyone else's.
That was really a tough one for Matty Banner. It was in between both guys there. It was very, very hard to judge for him, and he got taken out. I don't think it's any of his fault at all.
Yeah, Pedro's now dropped back a bit from toxic. Eric to catch up a little bit again. Everything's
Still had
pretty
a
much
three
fine
battle
so.
for P12.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can get past Shadow though. He's lagging quite a lot. Oh, you got Matt. Matt's got some wing damage on his left hand side. He's struggling there going through.
I don't think he does.
10-4. Yeah, this wing is not helping him at all.
Dennis right behind Gabriel. He's gonna want to get past him as soon as possible.
He's been stuck behind him pretty much since the start, and that was nearly a crash. Good driver from Dennis to avoid that.
Going to the last chicane, slippery exit, gotta be careful. These drivers want to get the best exit as possible to either defend or attack as best as they can. And he's a bit far.
Oh, this Greasy wall is catching these two. So we have to watch out for him.
Looking at PD, right behind Total Pure.
Does not
but
three. Yeah, but
that's,
that was no wing on his right hand side. And he's retired.
Yes, retires.
This did also catch him the scrap for 12th place.
So you know, Jack, PD told us during the interview and qualifying that he was going to be running higher wings for better downforce. But clearly there's a problem with that because he's getting decent traction in field, but he's not able to overtake because Spain is a tough track to overtake on. And the best opportunities you're going to have are at the end of the DRS straights, and he doesn't have enough straight line speed to really commit and make a move.
Yeah, he sort of backed himself into that position by running such high wings. It would help if there wasn't about 4 different cars in his way when he's trying to apply the power. But Tokyo goes a bit wide. Can he make a move down the inside? I think he can.
That was textbook switch back there.
That was really
Right
good.
then. Excellent move.
Next up there was a lag best at his ECR shadow.
Toxic Fusion is racing a really good drive so far. I mean, he's comfortably in P1. Pedro can't really close the gap. He's gonna have to defend against Stander. Good on the Renault once again. The defending champion actually.
Ethan got punted by Total Pure. Didn't catch it on stream, but no, Total Pure's absolutely running his wing in. You know, no bias at all, but I think that's slightly deserved. He's going to punt somebody.
Really tough race for PD. He's been in a couple incidents already. 9 laps, and then back of the field. He's not gonna be happy with that.
No, he's not. That's the last place effectively with those 2 retirements.
Eric Stander ever so close to Juan Pedro on the main straight. Is he gonna be able to catch a slipstream? It lays on the brake, but still on the racing line. Well done. He's still behind, but he's keeping it close in the dirty air. Nonetheless, it's difficult for him. He's got the spray as well to deal with. While Pedro's under pressure.
Yeah, you've got to think, you're used to a teammate, so we've got to think about the constructors, but at the same time, they're both fighting for the driver's title as well, so Yao Pedro's not going to be letting Eric go anytime soon.
I agree with you, Jack. I mean, they're both clean drivers as far as we can tell, but these guys want to win.
The round is now set. And started right in the back of the grid. Dennis still
Mr. D.
past Gabriel.
Almost lost it. The Red Bull of Death. He's looking at Shadow. He wants to get through, but he can't. He's got PD to deal with once again. right in his gearbox.
I think Pete is definitely quicker than these two, it's just a matter that he can't get through.
It's a long race, especially in the wet, Jack. Even if you're at the back of the field, you gotta fight. You can still hope for a few points. There can be errors. Could pull a good strategy move. He's gotta hang in. If you want my opinion, he's gotta pull through and hope for some points.
Oh, Mr. Dead, can he look down inside? No, I think it's better over it. Dennis is in the pits. So let's see what...
Alright, so
more
we have
what's
our
going
first
for
pit
Dennis.
stop.
We've just been told by Ethan that his tyres on 35%, so... I feel like that's quite early for Dennis.
Well, he might be thinking about early one stop, and it's a bit of a gamble because you don't know if the conditions are going to ease up and give way to intermediate condition tires. So it's a risky move. I'm not sure if his tires were really that burnt. I think it's really, as we know him, he likes to do things a bit different and take a gamble like that. It's nothing new for him, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, he's once again going for his own strategy, seeing if he can gain a few positions with it, and it's worked for him a lot in the past, so let's not rule him out yet.
There's a few battles still going on. It's an action-packed race so far. We've got the trio of Shadow Did and P
If it did
for
go for
P11.
Shadow, well, Dick's just pretty much let Ethan through. Ethan back up into
Interesting.
P12. See what Eric's doing. Still can't get past his teammate. He's both starting
Keeps
to
it
close
within
up
a
on
second.
top again.
And Jack, slowly but surely, Edu Pirani is making his way up. You said earlier he's always going to be a threat, no matter what. He can keep the car in the lobby actually if this connection doesn't screw him over. But he's behind a legend now. He's almost in the top 5.
Ethan's trying to get by Shello, but Shello's doing some quite exuberant defending. Oh, Shello, mate, that's not allowed, that's 2 moves.
Yeah, that was not good racing, I'd say. You don't want to see that. Going to the hairpin, turn 10. Petey thinking about it, throws it down the inside. Oh. Pushed him over. He's gonna wait for him. It was a mistake from Petey.
Yeah, I won't really say that's anyone's fault. Very easy to lock up your tyres, especially in these sort of conditions. But Ethan's finally got past and he's probably going to start pulling away now from Shadow. Second around.
That's Dennis looking at Shadow down the inside. Turn 1. Has against Haas. He makes it stick. He's through.
Yeah,
Easy move for Dennis.
That was definitely a lot easier for his teammate than it was for anyone else.
Oh, and yeah, Shadow's got damage, I'm pretty sure. But can't be certain, but it does look like his wing is damaged. And he's going very slow.
Who's this? Yeah.
Shadow.
Oh yeah, he's definitely got some damage on that right hand side.
Yep.
Let's see if I can What, it was the spectator car? Come on.
Edu Pironi coming on the main straight behind the Legend. Didn't get a good exit at all. He's way back. Not gonna be able to make a move.
Wait, Evans
Eric
is an
Standard
AI.
can't get. What's that?
Evans is AI.
Yeah. Don't know what's going on.
Oh, Ethan's encountering the invisible barrier which he just stopped in the middle of the circuit.
And the pit stop phase is definitely open. Photos Greek. You see our
Breakout
shadow
lanterns.
spitting as well. Ooh.
Wait, that might not
Right
be
then.
Inters, so let's check the...
Yes, it
It
is.
Inters. Now then, how long will it be before Greek bins it? Not very long, but all I knew he does in Alonso. Turn 4 is about 3 postcodes wide.
Oh, Pirandi, all over the back of Legend. Can't seem to be able to move past though. Is he gonna alter his strategy? Is he gonna pit and work an undercut? Could be worth it. None of them go to the pit lane, so it's another lap.
Pironi's got a better exit.
This time he's right behind him. Blocking the inside, the Legend is moving on the outside line. Edu Pirandi. No, nothing happens. No line for him. Yeah, I agree, Jack. Well done.
Gosh, there's struggling on those engines. I don't think it's ready for them yet.
So Rex Standard, the first of the front runners to pit, he's back out in P5 comfortably in front of Gabriel and not so far behind Edu Pirandi. So he's going to be happy with that. It doesn't look like intermediate tires is a good choice at the moment, Jack.
No, the track's still incredibly wet. And I'm actually surprised that Pironi can't get past Legend. We've seen him come back through the field quite easily before. I wonder if he's just really struggling in these conditions.
You know what, Jack? I don't know if Pirandi runs the same setups as he does in time trial, but if it's the case, he's got very high ballast, and in those conditions, it's going to create massive oversteer. It's going to be really difficult for a driver to counteract that much oversteer. So it could be the reason why he's struggling to really show his true pace. There you go. Pedro as well. And
So the
is
TBRL
Standard
guys.
going to be able to... Oh,
Standard pulled into the pit lane
Son.
there in order to get
Yeah.
pit screen. That's... I don't know if that's on. That could have easily taken somebody out of the race if somebody was coming out the pit lane.
yeah. I don't think that's it's unorthodox to say the least. Edu Pironi pits back out in P10. Wow.
Matt's still struggling with his front wing. I haven't paid yet.
I don't think he's got damage. He's got the same wing as Petey.
Henry's still disconnected. Now in 9th place.
Legend is holding up the Ferrari so bad. Last chicane. He's probably gonna pull into the pit lane. He runs wide again. Oh boy. Oh, there's
there we go.
contact. Yeah, he moves out of the way. Are the Ferraris gonna battle? Or are they gonna just follow each other?
I think if I'm Eric, I don't want to risk the overtake. No.
And
Around the outside here, you get off with Dennis and Matt. I think that is.
oh boy, what happened there?
Uh,
Yep, Dennis
I'm
just
not sure what happened, but Dennis and Matt were both facing the wrong way at the final turn. Matt hits, Dennis stays out, so I don't think he got damaged.
and this played out very well for Toxic
yeah,
Fusion
Dennis
because
is left away, so it doesn't matter.
the guys in the Ferraris, they couldn't undercut the leader Toxic Fusion because Old Legend was holding it up. So they you know, it was looking good for them until Old Legend blocked them. And fortunately for Fusion, he's now comfortably 2 seconds ahead. Well, not comfortably per se, but you know what I mean.
The pitting later as well, so he's going to have that little bit more grip come the end of the race.
Exactly. And it looks like everyone's comfortably in his position at the moment. No close battles for the first time of the race.
I mean, I think some people might have to make another stop because we did see the likes of Dennis hit really early on onto another set of wet. I think it was lap 11 Dennis pitted.
You're right.
I mean, saying that, it doesn't really matter considering that he's no longer racing.
PD spinning.
Yep, did and Ethan both pitting.
They will come out most likely P12 even. Oh, actually, better than I thought. PD's in P9. He's still. That's pretty good.
And behind Photon as well, who's really slow on the intern, so possible P8 coming up.
We were saying earlier, Jack, that it's a long race. In those conditions, you want to fight all the way through, and might get some points. And look at PD now. He was at the back, and he's now up in P9.
Yeah. Oh, crushing set to 1.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's Shadow. Shadow's out.
Shadow is gone. I think that's the long
wrong way.
right-hander.
Yeah, it's turn 4. Or is that turn 3?
Interesting.
I think that's turn 3.
Turn 3 or 4,
Must have
yeah.
lost it.
Oh, and told Pure that 3-second penalty might come back later and bite him in the ass because he's 3 seconds ahead of Mr. Din, and he's the last point scorer at the moment.
Yeah, that could cost him some championship points, and Greek has just gone massively wide and Ethan's swooped in and taken the place.
And both Brazilians are pitting, but I don't think that's gonna be enough for PD to come ahead. Yeah, it's not, definitely not.
That's always good. Oh, Greek's in the pits. I think he's gone back onto the wets. Have a look here.
Yeah, most likely. He's gonna be kicking himself. Yeah, those are the wets, Jack.
Wets. He risked it, but it didn't pay off, unfortunately. Yeah, Pedro now less than a second behind Toxic, so this is the closest it's been for a while.
I agree. I was just looking at that. Extender is not in good shape. He's been losing time as opposed to old Pedro. He's been cutting the gap closer and closer to Toxic Fusion, and he's gonna have to deal with banter. No, he gets out of the way. All right, so Oh,
spatial awareness
yeah.
there to see that there was another car coming through from that.
And now, Jack, pretty much for the first time in the race, Toxic Fusion in the Renault is gonna feel the pressure.
Oh, caution sector 3. That is.
Can't make it. Might have been Dennis, he's on AI. Oh no, we did quit earlier, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
109.
Pedro still incredibly close to Toxic.
It's within a second, and it's staying that way. It might be a matter of whoever makes a mistake first, Jack, because they've both been solid so far, and overtaking's been difficult.
Yeah, you've got to think that with Toxic having the pressure put on him that he has, it might be Toxic that makes a mistake first. He is quite a consistent driver though, so we'll see. Eric's pretty much been left by these two now, he's 3 seconds back. Well, he's made a mistake there. That's patch it on turn 3. I think this is really the first time we've seen a weakness from Eric this season. Clearly not the quickest when it comes to wet driving.
I agree, Jack. He's been so consistent. It's and his consistency's been rewarded as well so far. But no, I do believe that in Russia he did make a couple of mistakes that he surely would like to see those back and fix them, you know. But otherwise, he's been strong. He's been solid throughout.
Yeah, he has. And I think that's why he's leading the championship by however many points it is. I think it's about 18 or something at this point.
Is he leading?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, he's leading. Get the standings up real quick. He is leading by 15 points over Yao Pedro.
Interesting. So, still, if it stays that way, P2 and P3 for Pedro and Standard respectively is you know, Standard remains in front comfortably of Pedro. Well, not comfortably once again, but you know, he only loses 3 points out of those 15, so he won't be too disappointed with that, I bet. Still, I'm sure he wish he was fighting with Pedro for the lead.
Yeah, Toxic
Of
though
this
has
race.
been that little bit better than the two Ferraris this race.
Ryan, that's correct. He's had terrific qualifying session. He's got pole and he's been on the lead throughout the race so far. So he's gonna be happy with that. Yeah, DNF for Forest Greek GTA. Toro Rosso's out. Another disappointing result, I'm sure you'll agree.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Pedro now. All over the back of Toxic Fusion going in on main straight. Doesn't get the best exit. Slides a little bit, but he's still within half a second. Getting some slipstream. Toxic Fusion is just pulling away.
Yeah, Toxic definitely running lower wings. I think that might be why he was better in qualifying.
There's been a bit of lag there. Pedro
Yeah, Pedro's
and
left.
both Pedro and Perondi. Yeah.
Is it Ferrari as well? Oh, both PRL guys are out. Interesting.
Yep. Again. This is
That's gonna give-
crazy.
That's going to give Toxic a lot of breathing room there.
And it shows you how Standard was so far behind already. He's made a few mistakes ever since he pitted for his second stint. He's not been the same.
Yeah, he's been struggling at turn 3 miles every lap from what I've seen. He's had to catch it down there a few times.
Wow, and
Well,
that's a shame, Jack, because we were looking at a great battle.
yeah.
Once again, the Brazilians and their connections. Shame.
Yeah, it's definitely cost them. You gotta think that if they hadn't have had all the disconnections that we've got, then Pironi would probably be leading the championship. Del Pedro might even be ahead of Eric.
Yeah, definitely agree with that one. All right, Jack. Let's use this opportunity to give a rundown of the order. We got Toxic Fusion in a Renault, comfortably ahead now of Extended in P2. Ferrari of Paul Pedro disconnected at the moment. He's not in the race. He's in P3, but he's far up ahead of Old Legend in the McLaren P4. Edu Pirandi as well is not in the race at the moment. He's controlled by AI, but he's getting caught up by his teammate in Mercedes, Gabriel, in P6. While Zinho, the Williams, not too far behind, 5 seconds. And then Petey, Force India, P8. Mr. Did in the Red Bull, and Total Pure running up the point scores. So I noticed that Total Pure's got at least a few admirers and fans. According to the Twitch chat, we've got Tub Zero here that's polling for him. He says that he doesn't want. Yeah, he doesn't want Total Pure to disappoint again, which is a bit harsh, but that's fans will be fans, Jack.
Yeah, I think Total Pure can. Well, he's catching Mr. Did at a rate of enough, so maybe catch him before the end of the race. Obviously, he bottled his strategy by going onto the inters quite early, which is never good.
That's correct.
No, passes left in the race. Oh, sector 2, sector 3.
Oh, that's Matt Banner. He's off track. He's on inters. Turn 11 now, going to turn 12.
Yeah.
Once again. Doesn't look like he's got any damage, but he's struggling for pace and grip. And Pironi's back in the car.
Matt's coming into the pits. Is Yao Pedro back in the... Yao Pedro is back in the car, but he's made a mistake. He's gone off the
No,
fourth.
he's the reason for the yellow flag. He's back in the car now. Oh, just ahead of Legend.
He's disconnected again.
Oh, thank God he ghosted, because that was... Surely that was going to be a crash.
It looked like he came back in the car, didn't realise where he was, tried to apply the power and then just spun it off track. Oh, Pironi's back out the session.
Incredible, incredible.
The Legend that's to third place, which is really good for him. I've seen him all season, pretty much.
We got I am late in the chat. That's he's a fan of Finland apparently, because he's screaming Finland out in caps in the chat. But I'm not sure who's Finnish in this field, to be honest. Might be Dennis.
I would like to warn him dead quick, please do not use all caps in the chat or you will be banned.
Do not shout.
Eric's still not catching Toxic, he's losing time. crashed.
I'm not sure what's going on there, but it looks to me as if the more the car became lighter and lighter, the more struggle
We're
Eric
only 5
Stender's been
seconds
having.
top,
Oh dear lord. Incredible turnout. Once again. Disconnections,
He
penalties.
doesn't have any wing damage. He's just going to more
I
laps.
think it's the AI that pitted him. I'm not sure.
Might be.
Oh, he's in the car.
He might have reconnected like as the car was already in the pit lane, which will explain the stop go.
Right, I don't think the AI would have cut that kind of penalty.
No. Yosin is now
And,
captain Gabriel.
He is, slowly but surely. I was gonna say, Jack, whole legend, as it turns out, is on the last step of the podium, but he's got to deal with whole Pedro, and if Pedro remains in the race and doesn't disconnect again, then he's gonna give Legend a run for his money, because that's not gonna be easy defending against the Ferrari.
No, it's not. Legends don't really think he's got the same pace as Yao Pedro, but we'll see what his defending's like. He'll still hold on to that podium. I do think Legends has penalties though. I do remember.
Let me take a look. He's got a penalty, he does, you're right. He's got a warning as well. An additional warning for another penalty, but... Oh, he's got a couple penalties. Ooh, 6 seconds, so that's it for him. Pedro's got 0 warning. No penalty, of course.
Big kick a little steer there on the exit of the corner for Yao Pedro.
So Pedro might not be aware of that, but all he has to do is comfortably remain behind Legend, because he's not going to be able to catch standard 20 seconds up ahead, but he's definitely got an assured P3 at the moment, as it is because of the penalties.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do once he gets past. Well, if he gets past Legend. We did see that it was quite a few times a lap quicker than Eric before he disconnected, so I don't think it's a few mistakes. Okay.
Well, Jack, 5 laps to go. Who's been your driver of the day so far?
And it's got to be Toxic. He's been on it all race, including qualifying. He's not made any mistakes whatsoever. Clinical race, if you ask me.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Most of the time, I like to look at the top of the leaderboard to find driver of the day, and a guy like Toxic, he hasn't won yet, and he's done everything right. Like he said, he's done everything right to come out on top. He qualified tremendously, and he's kept it ahead and kept his head cool the whole time, the whole race so far. So I think he deserves it.
Definitely does. There you go then, the driver of the day for the Spanish Grand Prix. Toxic Fusion, current defending champion. Saying that though, Eric is starting to catch up a little bit. 3 tenths on that lap.
Yeah, it's not gonna cut it, is it? And Pedro is hounding Legend, and Legend just cuts the final corner. I don't think... Oh, Pedro loses it. He's off track in the gravel.
Oh,
He's back on track,
that's gonna
but...
go some breathing room for Legends.
Oh, and remember, Legends gets 6 seconds of penalty if he keeps his head cool. If he's able to catch another 2 seconds, if Pedro makes a mistake, he might be able to lift the 3rd place trophy.
I was gonna say Pedro's only dropped 4.5 seconds. It's not enough for Legend to keep the podium drift yet.
And it's
But
just a
not like
reminder,
that.
Jack, that with 4 laps to go in those conditions, you just Everything can happen still.
Yeah, the tyres are starting to look a bit second-hand at this point of the race.
Second
Might see some of
round.
those. Might see some of
Good
those
one.
that pitted a bit earlier. Starting to get punctures maybe. In the last few laps.
I'd be curious to know what's the level damage at the moment on everyone's tires, but not gonna happen. Edu Pirandi, disappointing P9. Disconnected at the race. Yeah, actually didn't qualify, and
Just been in
made his way back up to
tyres.
P5.
His tyres are 41%, so I don't know when he pitted like. So
That's
even
interesting.
from
It's
13 laps, it's on 41%.
that's not bad then. But I do reckon
don't think that's too much,
at 40% and up, the tires become they become hard to control. So
yeah,
could
that's definitely
see
when they
more and more
start falling
mistakes.
off.
As Mr. Did makes a mistake, runs wide of the hairpin, and Edu Pirani doesn't ask much more than that to make a move and move past. Going to the last part of the track, last chicane.
Ronnie now
And he's
going
now-
after Ethan.
10 seconds back, but who knows? And Walt Pedro's made it back to within 2.5 seconds of Legend, so unfortunately for Legend, his penalties will cost him as it stands. Cost him the podium.
It did. You gotta think he's gonna be kicking himself over that one as well. Possible first podium of the season.
And I don't know what happened with Evans in the Renault. Currently in P13, he's actually controlled by AI, as is Dennis in front. But Evans was in a good streak along with his teammate at Renault, so not sure what happened, like I said, but I'll bet he's gonna be disappointed. He did qualify well. He was due for a good result with that, but not gonna happen.
No, it's very unfortunate for the Renault driver. Like I said, he was slowly but surely making his way up the driver's standings, and then this goes and happens. We'll see what happens in Monaco for him though. Maybe that can be the track.
Suomi, Finland, Jack is what's going on at the chat at the moment. So I don't know any Finnish, but I know that my nickname SaKuuu is taken off of SaKuuu Koivu, my favorite hockey player. So shout out to every Finn out there struggling to whatever. Get a medal in
Ron
the
just sets the
Olympics, I
fastest
guess.
lap of the race.
Yeah, he's been
Definitely putting
setting
the pressure
fast
on Ethan
laps.
now.
He's
He's
losing
by
it.
3.5 seconds that lap.
He did. I thought it was 10 seconds. Might have been 15. Whoa! Pedro's on P3. I missed that.
Oh, so Legends must have made a big mistake.
It's not that big of a deal because Legend has penalties, as we previously mentioned, but
True.
I bet Legend would have liked to have kept P3. You know, crossing the line P3 is always what you're aiming for. It's the podium.
Yeah, on second 3 again. I think we've actually crashed it. I think it's just the game's glitch.
Might be the AIs. Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, Pio's getting closer to Mr. Did everyone.
I think Pure is the Finn in here because according to the chat, but I just don't
yeah,
know.
Pure is finished. Not really any close battles on track at the minute.
Well, it's the last lap of the
Legend.
race. I think reflecting on it, we've had tremendous battles, sometimes 3 and 4 way battles on the first half of the race. We were treated. It was pretty interesting. There's been some shady driving at times, but nothing too bad, I think. Jack, what do you think?
Yeah, driving standards have dropped a little bit this race, but that's to be expected in it. Like when the race is as heavy as it is. I've seen multiple things from dominance and toxic with some mistakes from Eric. Disconnects from the BRL guys. It's been an interesting race.
Well, Jack, this is Toxic's first win of the season, correct?
It is.
Who won in Australia? Oh, it's Tander, of course.
Dander in Australia, Corona China, Bahrain with Yao Pedro, and Russia with Eric.
There you go. So, 4th different winner of the season, or yep, 4th different winner.
Yep.
So, and the first win for Renault
One
this
corner
season.
left to go. Making for another penalty. Here we go then. Takes it nice and slowly, doesn't want to bottle it. And there we go. Your winner of the Spanish Grand Prix for season 11. Toxic Fusion, defending champion, finally getting his defence off to a good start. Definitely going to help him out a lot. Eric crossing his left. Okay, shows in the next line.
Not a great result for the Ferrari drivers, despite of the few mishaps, but constructors is looking very strong at the moment.
There we go. P3 for Yao Pedro. Ferrari going to be happy with that one. Legends gets the 4. Will he keep it though, or will Gabriel jump in?
I think he's got 9
Incredibly
seconds
close.
worth of penalty.
Yeah, so it's going to be close. No.
Oh, it
Gets
stays the
that,
same.
keeps it. Yelzino 6, PT now coming around the last corner, take P7.
Good result for Petey. We talked about him a bit earlier, and he was way back. Managed to collect what is it, 6 points. Got to be happy with that.
Yeah, Eddie Peroni finishes 8th. Mr. did 9.
Point result for
Total
Rondi.
Cure, he was a lap down, 8th final. Sure his fans will be happy with that one.
All right, then, Jack. That's the in-race action done. 33 laps later, and here we are for the podium. Toxic Fusion and Renault. Well, Pedro, Extender, that's P3 and P2 respectively. And it's another very red podium.
Yeah, we're getting used to seeing both of the red-suited Ferrari boys up there. I think we can expect it for the rest of the season as well.
Eric
Just
doesn't
a
have
quick,
a mic.
Not if I can help it.
sorry, just a quick announcement. Eric Stander can't do the interview, so I'm going to invite Oleg next because he's finally got a decent result.
Sounds
Give us some
good.
insight.
All right, let's see. We've got Wow is in the party. We've got Fusion. It's just missing a legend. And did you invite him, Maldi? Oh, there he is. Great. All right, thank you. There we go. So I would ask every one of you to turn on your audio to be included in the broadcast in the party options, please. Let's kick it off with the winner of the Spanish Grand Prix in STB this season, Toxic Fusion. Congratulations on the win. Solid drive, solid qualifying.
Thank you.
First of all, tell us about the qualifying, how good that was, and were you expecting such a good result?
Being honest, no, because Spain isn't necessarily one of my favourite tracks on the game, so yeah, it was quite a shock. Even though I think Stander was it 8 thousandths or 7 thousandths behind me.
Yeah,
So,
pretty close,
yeah.
indeed.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
Interesting. So we thought it looked like at first you got such a good result in qualifying, you were practically a second ahead. We thought it was probably a good track for you, and that was why. But that's interesting. So you've got really you managed to pull out a great lap then. And so moving on to the race, started P1, obviously managed to really never be in trouble. Except maybe on the second stint, it looked like you were being caught on by Pedro, and unfortunately disconnected. Not sure if you realized that or not.
Yeah.
Tell us about the race and how it was looking for you, the strategy and managing the gaps.
Well, I mean, the first stint was just literally just making sure that I didn't make any mistakes. Because if I made like the tiniest mistake in either the first or second stint, to be fair, then that'd be it, like race over. But yeah, I was able to like sort of keep my head, just sort of keep focused and not make any mistakes, and yeah, it was a good race.
All right, well, get back to you a bit later. Congratulations once again on your first
Thank
place.
you.
Moving on to third place holder, that would be Juan Pedro. First of all, well, obviously congratulations. A bit unfortunate you disconnected at one point in the race for some time as you were catching up to the leader. How do you feel about that? Tell us about that.
Actually, I don't know why I keep playing this game. Really, it's just like I don't have any fun on it. The good part was that I haven't made any practice. Yeah, I think so. It wasn't like all, to the trash. But yeah, it was just really disappointing the whole race. The one moment when I was like in a good pace, when I was catching fusion, I disconnected. So just don't wanna play this game ever again. Really.
Yeah, it's very difficult for you to really be able to complete a race without any connection problem. I think you deserve to be given the chance to show your true pace for a whole race. So that's unfortunate. Congratulations, nonetheless, Pedro. Hopefully,
4 races I disconnected. So yeah,
let's
move it on.
That's unfortunate. Still, hopefully you stick around and keep racing. Moving on to Legend in the McLaren. As Maldi said, finally a good result. I'd say Legend, you must be quite happy with that. Tell us a bit about how your race went and how you feel at the moment.
Well, it was a bit of a boring race, to be honest. The start, I was really lucky because my finger slipped from the clutch, so I almost jumped the start, but when my finger slipped, the lights went out, so I was really lucky with that. And after that, I was having not a great race, made a couple of mistakes. Sometimes I locked up the wheels in front, and that was a shame, but I had a couple of battles with Pedro and Perwandi, were nice, but yeah, unless about that, it was a bit of a boring race, to be honest.
So you were involved in the most battles as others were, so still you did pick up the most penalties as far as I know. How difficult was it in those conditions on this track to keep the car from going deep and to keep the car from spinning out?
Yeah, I think when you lock up, for example, in turn 1, if you want to make the corner, you lose a lot of time, so sometimes you just risk it and try to lift, but I hope you don't get a warning, but sometimes I did get a warning, so that's that's frustrating, but yeah, I lost my concentration at the end, so that's why I picked up 2 penalties at the end, and yeah.
Yeah, so Legend, quick question myself.
Sure.
Yeah, a Legend. Obviously, you haven't had a very good run of form recently. Like you've had collisions in some of the races. You must feel, even though it was a boring race for you, things like that, you must still
Yeah.
be happy with finally getting
Yeah,
someone else
definitely.
on the board.
Yeah, definitely finally a race without collisions, without things happening to my car, or no lag and forth with me, even though I raced the 2 Brazilians, or 2 of the Brazilians. So that's a good feeling, and hopefully more to come in the next races.
Yeah.
All right then. Thank you very much, guys. Moving on to Monaco. Toxic, tell me, how you looking for that one, the tight streets of Monaco?
Yeah, I think Monaco is one of them sort of tracks where it can go really, really well, or it can go like disastrously wrong. Like it's a really sort of up and down track for me. So I don't know. I thought
I'd say
Spain
that's
would be a bad
accurate.
track for me. Yeah, I thought Spain would be a bad track for me, and look how that's kind of turned out. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll keep
you
my
just
hopes up.
never know. All right, boys. Well, that's it for us then. I don't have any more questions, and congratulations to the winner and the runners-up. We'll see you next week. Maldi, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin and Jack, for 5th time. Very good commentary team we have here at STB for season 11. Great racing, not the best race for me. The wettest race that we've had this season, but also has also gave us our 4th different winner of season 11. A great race for Owners Next to finally get points. A great race in the midfield at certain points where there was a nice battle in there. But we are now in the European season. It's been a boring Spanish Grand Prix, but do join us next week, 7 p.m. For next week, UK time, 7 p.m. when we go to the home of royalty, the most prestigious Grand Prix on the Formula 1 calendar. We will be going for round 6, the Monaco Grand Prix, live from Monte Carlo. Join Jack Hopwood and SaKuuu next week for what is to be a very, very exciting Monaco Grand Prix. So until then, goodbye.